Hello, we're finally here. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin. These wonderful and marvelous people have joined us to play a very silly game for a very good cause. We're going to get to them in a second. First, I got to cover some notes, though. We are using Roll20 as our virtual tabletop of choice. We are using Hero Forge for our character art, and in some other places you might see. We are using Bensound for the music in the intro you are about to see, and also, if I remember it, in the final scene. I've got such confidence in myself, it's so inspiring. And we are also using, in some cases, art from the manual itself, from the game we're playing, which is Tiny Frontiers Revised. It is an amazingly wonderful, simple little game, perfect for one-shots, because you can make a character in less than 5 minutes, and it literally fits on a 3x5 note card. So, with that, let's get to these amazing people, because without players, it's just me here talking to myself, and nobody's going to watch that. So, let's start with Bison, bringing a character to us tonight we'll get to in a minute. I don't even want to talk about these characters. I just want to throw them in right after this. But Bison, thank you so much for joining us on relatively short notice. Thank you for coming up with a unique character, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing when you're not here.
Well, I don't do a whole lot when I'm not here. You can generally find me on my Twitch, which I will throw up in chat in just a sec.
Oh, please don't throw up in chat. Hello,
I play
Jackie
just
Bear.
pretty
Thank you
much
for
whatever
joining us.
games I want.
Yeah.
And lately, it's been Fall Guys, because that went for free on the Epic Games Store. It's a lot of fun, and I actually won my first game because I played it when it came out on PS4, and I was terrible at it.
Wonderful.
Now I'm not.
You
so
just
I
have to
had a
wait
good
till
day.
you just have to wait till everybody's moved on to another game, right?
And that's when I stop, because the bar will be higher.
Yeah. Oh, I get that.
That's me, Bison Stonefist. Other than that, you can catch me playing Bickard Barkswipe on Sundays here on Dirty 20 Gaming for the world at large.
Except this Sunday. We're doing something else that I will talk about in a little bit. There's a reason to stay. If nothing else, we got a story at the end to tell you about what's going to happen on Sunday. But it's a long way between now and Sunday. Let's continue around the table to hear our next player. It has been ages, and I've missed you. Zia, welcome back to Dirty 20 Gaming. I hope you're looking forward to this as much as I am.
Hi, I'm Zia. I use Fair pronouns just to clear up any confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I normally am spending my time writing and researching mostly. Lately, it's been mostly African history because I feel like there's a void in the chronology for that one. But I'm also working on a TTRPG system of my own that I'll probably be streaming a campaign of when I have it written.
Oh, wonderful. I love to see it. I have had a bit of a sneak peek at a previous version, and it looked amazing. So please do continue on that. That is a very complete world that you're building there, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product. And thank you for joining us tonight. And that takes us to Eddie. Thank you for joining us. Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hi, my name's Ed.
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't need to pro.
Hi, my name's Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. I am planning on taking over the channel known as Dirty 20 Gaming. I'm going to be here tonight. I'm going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going to be the night after that. And I'm coming for your job. You can find me on other social media accounts on like YouTube and Twitter. Or not Twitter, TikTok. That's what the kids are doing these days. Stay off Twitter. Anyways, let's have fun.
All right.
Let's give this a try.
There's the links right there. Let's do this. But first, what game would be a game without a tiny intro video? And the first hint as to the themes of the chapters and how they will be expressed this evening. Everyone who's watching, if you would be so kind as to sit back and take your virtual popcorn of choice as we play a little game of Scanned and Deliver. And we're back. Your boss, Genuflecting Kangaroo. That's their name because every day they get a new secret name that is a random adjective attached to a random noun. Genuflecting Kangaroo has sent you to the far reaches of the Rim, a place where, unless you're from there, nobody really wants to go. But you've been sent to solve a series of crimes that a client corporation insists are connected. That corporation has also supplied the limo shuttle that brought you down to the surface. As nice as that was, this planet, if you like cities, this planet leaves a lot to be desired. It is about 99% forest with just tiny little population pockets here and there. It orbits quite close to a malicious yellow dwarf star called Merlin's Knob. Once the limo landed at a complex of buildings all but buried in the fern and fungus forest, you were escorted or shown to a boardroom much nicer than the ones at Pinkerton's where you actually work. A few moments later, a hollow screen in the middle of the table lights up. The image on it is just too perfect. Surgery? Probably. Digital effects? Almost certainly. Both? Yeah. Let's be honest. It is clear that this representation is unquestionably, no questions asked, absolutely for sure, a salesperson. The perfect smile, complete with glint. The sparkle in the eye, the perfectly in-style and perfectly tailored Terrapin-inspired outerwear. It screams aggressive marketing executive. Their smile impossibly gets even larger. Come on, do the thing, do that thing. It's not doing a thing, damn it. Why not? Hang on for a second. This is supposed to do... it's not working. Why?
It's not a Dirty 20 game without technical difficulties.
Oh. No way. Oh, I know why. I know. I have to turn off chat for a second. Hang on. Jesus. There it is. This chapter is called The Safety Plans. The face looks at you and says, "Hello, and let me be the first to welcome you to Arfus Fortitude Hector Building Complex, named after our company's founder. I'd love to be there meeting you personally, but all of us above a certain pay grade are contractually obligated to be locked down here in our safe rooms." They sip wine from a crystal goblet before continuing. "We'd love to be back on the surface offering our lower-tiered co-workers the support they so desperately deserve, but alas, rules are rules." Their smile shifts slightly as they try to look more serious. "We are under attack. Our files have been erased and corrupted, and one of our executives has made the ultimate sacrifice in the vain attempt to protect the private property of Colonial Adaptations and Engineering Incorporated from being stolen. We've had a third event since you were called for. Just last night, there was a break-in at one of the gymnasiums we provide for our hard-working and talented staff. We didn't want to soil the crime scene, so we sealed it off and waited for you. But there is one more thing. We know who did it." And a picture pops up on screen. I'm going to show you guys in-game. Show to players. Bam. You guys should be able to see them now. And now... oh, you think I did this before? No, you wouldn't. This picture pops up on screen, a blue robot, very well dressed. It was involved in an unfortunate radiation leak incident and has since gone rogue. It calls itself Adam. Surveillance cameras saw it commit the murder, and its net connection was linked to the hack. Last night it used its company pass, which we had revoked but it somehow reactivated, to gain access to the recreation zone. Our primary concern is the briefcase and its contents. We would prefer you bring the Autoborg in for reprogramming, or just destroy it. We're insured. you have any questions?
Nova is just sort of sitting there taking it in. He's not a big fan of the corpo type, so like
Oh, yeah.
he's just sitting there. He's like, Eddie's are secured in the accounts, yeah.
You've already been paid, but it's got the standard sort of quid pro quo. If you don't quid, we don't pro. You know how it works.
Biz, got it.
Weirdly, you're the
just-
only one that asked to get paid in new yen. Very strange.
Chad like strokes his chin. He goes, "Well, do you have some sort of information leading or some footage you said of the murder taking place? Do you mind if we pop that up on this hollow screen here just to make sure that we have the right guy?"
Well, not on this screen, obviously. This is the executive screen, but look over there, and on the other side of the desk, it's a perfectly similar spot, but a different screen pops up. Slightly lower resolution, but just enough so it's obvious. And you see an Autoborg dressed in that image. What you see before you was a still shot of that from that video. They stepped forth, they made a speech, and then they shot them dead and took their briefcase.
All right.
Professional
And we all-
Choom.
Worked together?
The three of you are sort of from the same office, but there's like 100 detectives in this office, so you know of each other. You maybe shared a joke before, but not as friends. You don't have each other's numbers, except in a professional sense.
I don't think there's anything else that I need covered. What about you, Nova and Belladonna?
Nova just-
Belladonna sorry.
Go ahead.
Belladonna clicks in her own language. You look like someone I would have eaten in my vigilante days.
they don't understand your language, but they get the gist of it and look nervous. Nova, go ahead, one more sentence, and then I got to interrupt because I realized I forgot to explain the rules of the game.
Actually, I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay, in that case, I'll make the rules. Here come the games. There we go. Thank you. Hellhounds not only wielding the hammer of infinite banning doom, you also know the rules for tonight. For any donation of $10 or more, you can go into chat here and create an NPC in one sentence. That NPC will then be forced by me to get put into the game, and we will make it make sense as these guys go along. But yes, please go to that link right there. Oh, I got such wonderful people. Click that Nightbot link, go over to Tiltify, donate $10, and create an NPC. While we're on the subject, some of you may have noticed the bar at the bottom of the screen that I haven't quite got lined up yet. I want it to be a surprise. Before we even started the broadcast tonight, there is $170 in donations already in this account. That does not include the $50 that Dirty 20 put in there. That will be added at a later time because I sent it to the wrong place. But we are at $220 in raised money before we've even started the stream. Now, the reason I mentioned the $50 that Dirty 20 put in there is because $10 to buy an NPC. I know not everybody in the community can afford $10 for something as foolish as an NPC. So 5 of you may now enter an NPC for free because we paid for it. So if you can afford $10 and want to make me sweat, please do. And if you can't afford $10, you should still get to make me sweat. So please do. With that, the face smiles at you, their very best fixer look, and says, "Your transport awaits outside." And as they turn away, you see them pick up their crystal goblet of wine as a servant in the background, a robotic servant, comes forward with a tray of canapé. And before we even head out the door, Bison. I specifically told you guys, but I didn't tell chat yet. It is absolutely, completely reasonable for people in the game to buy an NPC in their own game to help them. Bison has just done this. Give us an NPC. You don't have to write it in there. Just tell me what it
Not
is.
yet.
Oh, you're
Not
holding it. Oh,
I'm
man.
holding it.
Oh,
I've thrown it
no.
in there, and I'm just waiting for a point where it's going to be entertaining.
No.
Well,
You have
what a lovely corporate representative.
He's doing a whole action on an NPC.
On an NPC, yes.
Now is not the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nova's response to that, like, it's pretty much as soon as the monitor turns off and he's certain that the connection's cut.
Yeah.
Nova just kind of like he pulls out a flask, takes a quick shot. It's like, man, corpos just really know how to ruin biz. Okay, so we got to find a guy, yeah?
I believe so. We have to go stop by a gymnasium, something that humans used to use to keep themselves fit. Flexes a lot.
Looks at his robotic arms. Sure thing, bro.
I'll take that as an affirmative. I'm not familiar with the kids' lingo these days, or in Vexy, do you speak Common, Galactic Basic?
Whatever it's called here. Go.
I do, but when one is making threats to the one who hired you, one does not typically use the common language.
Shum knows their biz.
Oh. Yes, I've also been to Greece. I'm familiar. Okay, let's make our way towards our pickup, I suppose.
You step outside, and this is a tiny little, like, it's almost just a round square that's got buildings around it. That's all that's here in the middle of the jungle. So the hover limo that sits in front of the door seems a bit out of place. But there is a robot chauffeur holding the back doors open. You can hear the mega crickets in the forest. You can hear, frankly, you can hear the invex of various and many species in the forest, because Belladonna, as you step back outside, you kind of maybe sort of, you were on the job, so when you came in, but you come back out and that sound, that wall of sound hits you. It sounds like home. What's it like after all this time and all the things that you've done to be back on this planet, your home planet?
There's a sense of not deserving to be back home because of some of the things I've done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Some of that will be explained later, but
So the sun's a little too bright, a little too probing. It's just a little too exposed, if I may. You get into the limo. It drives 50 meters in a semicircle and stops in front of another one of the buildings. The robot driver leaps out, pulls the back door open for you. The gymnasium.
What excellent
Pops his
service.
head out. Chum, we could have walked. Okay. Pops
Special
out.
executive treatment, sir.
Cream.
If we could stick to speaking Galactic Basic, I'd be perfectly fine with this. What's this door look like? They provide us with key cards or
The
or any
door,
means of.
Well, see, as you look around, good question, which I'm going to answer in a roundabout way. As you look around, there's definitely two types of buildings in this circle. On the side that you were just at, it's all very nice buildings with very heavily locked doors and very barred windows. On the side you're on now, push open doors. It's a public space. It's like barracks. There's very much an executive and a staff side to this compound. This gymnasium is in the staff side of the compound. That's just two big open doors, the ones that go wugged, 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 wugged after you're done. But not like Western doors, like modern doors that are broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is across it 3 strips of yellow and black tape. As you get closer, you kind of maybe expected to say police tape. It says police tape TM, police tape TM, police tape TM.
It's the brand.
Yep. It's police tape land wearing police tape. But that doesn't apply to you.
Chad's gonna open the door. And
Okay.
if it seems as at all heavy, he's gonna kick it open.
You push the doors.
Walk
Okay.
through the tape, just attach.
Yeah, it just sticks to you. Okay, and that's 2 entrances. Belladonna, how are you making an entrance?
Well, first I'm going to give a large sack of credits to the robotic driver, and then I'm just spitting on the ground because of my disgust with the compound, and then just walking through.
They take the it's kind of like I guess it'd be kind of like a credit card that you hand them, and they look at it and say, "Oh, I couldn't possibly, sir. We're not allowed to, sir. Absolutely not." I'm sorry, wrong, incorrect choice of pronouns. My apologies. I certainly couldn't possibly take this at all, and it's just tucked inside an inside jacket and gone in a heartbeat. Very good. Be careful. To you specifically because you tipped them. So yeah, Nova, you're just walking through. So yeah, I like this. How you make the entrance. But first, you guys went through that one real quick. Bam. Scene of the crime. The scene with the crime, in this case, a Rat album from 1980 something. The scene with the crime. That is what we're doing now. You kick open the door. They come back and stop again. Nova just walks through the tape, through the doors. Less, but even more. But, a smaller one because he just went through and he's gone. Oh, look at these people in chat keeping up and Dwayne way ahead of me and just let me run the game. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I have a thing to run at halftime, too. Remind me. We're going to actually take a short halftime break today. But back to this. So yeah, you walk in, Nova. The door's closed behind you. For a second, you're in there by yourself. It smells like Jim in here. It smells not the guy. It smells like feet and ass. Like somebody needs to open a window. But
So it still smells like Jim.
it smells. Yeah, we know the same Jim. Yeah, but it's as you step into this place, there is. They weren't kidding. They didn't touch anything. On the far side of the gym floor, there's just a spread of like volleyballs and basketballs, and all of them are flat, except for one that's still on a cart. And beyond that, there's a gate that's ripped open and some stuff is missing. All that in that split moment in that sort of gray haze of a gym with only those little tiny windows that go around the top. The ones that let in almost no light, but would be no help in escaping during a fire. Those ones, yeah.
The government mandated.
Yes, and
outdoor
even
lighting.
though they're 10 meters off the ground, they've got the chicken wire mesh in them too. Like you're gonna, yeah. So
I've been to public school.
outside on the porch, the robot behind you, the car drives away, goes halfway around the circle, and then slowly sinks into an underground garage right in front of the place that you guys came from, and the driveway closes above it. The two of you are still on the steps in the. I almost said tepid. That's not right. Torpid. That's the one I'm looking for. The torpid heat. What do you do?
Well, we got a lot of deflated balls and some forced entry and through this gate over here. I'm gonna look around for any blood,
Okay.
sign of a struggle of any sort.
All right. Let's pretend we're playing a role-playing game and roll some dice. Let's do that. So yeah, give me a search. Can you got anything that would make you proficient or masterful even in the
Nope,
searching
I'm just a
department?
guy who's very confident.
Just a guy. 2 successes. That works for me. You start finding some stuff. The other two want to look around as well? So you were looking specifically for blood. Okay. Nova, what are you
Nova's
investigating?
he specs everything.
Yep.
And as he kind of like
Oh, you got
makes
that
his
annoying
way-
version of Google Glasses that identifies everything as you go across and tells you how much it is on Amazon?
it's actually got like the current like gal eBay pricing, how much he could get for it.
Yeah.
So it's like 0.00000. Specs Chad's hammer a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes over. He's looking at the deflated balls and kind of specking for like patterns.
Something moves out of the corner of your eye, right over here, right behind the rack with the single volleyball on it. Something small and blue and gray pops up.
Definitely sees it.
Spin around and look.
Gun pointed.
You have your gun this far from the nose of a 1,000-year-old granny. I was just cleaning the place. And she looks down.
Whoa,
and
Chew,
now I gotta
you gotta-
clean a lot more. I just.
I missed that.
What are you
This
doing
is a-
here?
This is a crime scene, Grams.
It's Gran's, for one. And she steps out
Well.
from behind the cart and starts adjusting portions of her anatomy to show you that she is in fact a Gran.
I don't know.
Yes, it's a crime scene. That doesn't mean it can't be tidy. It took you so long to get here. Everything was covered in dust. I've just been dusting. Look, I chased him off. He doesn't like old women. What a bastard. What do the two of you want?
Way he went.
It looks like he's back. That's very rude. You shouldn't just start a conversation with somebody and then walk away. I was standing right here. You didn't answer my question. Why are you here? Who are you? Somebody tell me something. I'm not deaf.
We got paid by the Chooms that own this place to figure out what happened.
You
I'm
don't look
surprised
young
you haven't
enough to
heard
be
of me.
using those kind of words.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. My name is Chad Quasar of the Chads.
Oh, I've heard of Chads.
Yeah.
Oh, there's pages and pages on the internet about Chads. You're one of
Well,
them,
you
are
know,
you? Kind of
some people can be quite litigious.
gives you kind of look at me. Yeah, about what I expected. And you, and she turns to Belladonna, you look like you need a cookie. And she starts digging in her apron. There's like screwdrivers are coming out and hankies and just all kinds of stuff. And then a cookie, unwrapped.
Belladonna takes the cookie very eagerly and whispers to Nova, "We are keeping her."
Shit.
He's just like, okay then. Puts his gun away. He's like, speaking of the crime scene, did you see anything?
I'm the custodian. They used to call us janitors, but apparently that's rude, so now I'm a custodian.
Yeah, and
We
custodians
see
see everything.
Now you got it. So why'd you ask why? Why didn't you just say, what did you see?
I did ask what you see. And he's like,
There's a murderer loose. We need to get to the bottom of this.
There
He
ain't nobody got
he turns to
murdered
Sergeant.
here.
He's like, well, clearly all these poor balls got shot.
If I had a nickel for every time I saw a popped ball. What are you looking for? This? And she hands you the only working volleyball, and like the only full one, and turns it around, and there's a sticker on the back.
What's the sticker
That
say?
would be it.
The sticker says, the Lords are cheating. And it looks like the logo of something.
We're looking for. Sorry, I was wrong character. We're looking for. We're looking for an Autoborg named Adam.
Yes, very well dressed.
Oh, that's his defining characteristic. So
That
Any
and
idea
that
where he
and
went?
his innate charm, yes. He was here for quite a while. We chatted.
What about?
Oh, you know, life, the universe, everything. The good, the bad, the pricks.
where did he go?
Right out the front doors. With all that climbing gear.
did he say what he was going to use it for?
Are you just new? What do you think you use climbing gear for?
He's like, you can use it to climb a mountain. You can also use it to break into a bank. Lots of things can be used for lots of reasons. Rope, like the most important thing in the universe sometimes.
Next to towels, yeah.
Towels and ropes, yes, very important things. Yes, climbing. So he's going to be climbing somewhere. Very charming. Had quite a bit of political things to say, but I didn't listen to any of that. Too busy looking at the heaving pecs.
The place that we walked into,
Yes.
is that the entrance, or is the place that looks like there's damage to leave is
The
entrance
doors
she's
that are
referring to?
broken are just to a case that has all the climbing gear in it. And,
Oh, okay.
And 3 sets of climbing gear is missing from that little room.
Hmm.
Other than that, there's only
3 sets, eh?
because this is only for the staff, so there's only one door out. The one you came in, the big swingies, 0 security.
Okay. Nova's going to head over there, and he's going to try to see if there's like anything, like kind of evidence, I guess.
Yep. You start looking around. Did you ever make a roll, or I just didn't use it? No. Go ahead, make a roll.
All right, because I'm going to use my perception to
Okay.
gain information about your surroundings or find things that may be hidden.
Yep. So that's an advantage.
Like
roll
to
for
aid
you.
them if anyone cut themselves on the glass.
You just keep looking and she finally turns. She says, "There's no blood. I don't know what your fascination is with blood, but there's no blood. He didn't kill
I didn't
anybody."
say blood. I saw a murder take place on a videotape.
Well, that wasn't here.
Videotapes can't get edited.
That wasn't here. That was at his. That was outside. I can show you.
Oh,
You saw the
All right.
video. He got shot in the street. This is a gym.
well, with set design, anything. All right, fine. We'll go.
I'm beginning to think this might be all of your first missions. Oh, how was that cookie?
It was great, thank you, ma'am. And then she turns to Chad. If you don't stop looking for reasons to arrest this sweet old lady.
You don't look for reasons to arrest. I just find crimes.
All right, so scene of the crime.
Okay. As you okay. I'm just gonna so what are you doing? You look around, you have found, so yes, there's missing gear. All the volleyballs were popped except for one which had a message on it. The Lords are cheating. And this,
Did we recognize the
Overlords are cheating. Sorry, gotta read my own
the
notes.
Overlords are cheating? Did we recognize the symbol?
Thank you for asking at the absolutely appropriate time. As you look in, you see the Overlords are cheating is the sticker, but there's a very tiny, whatever the 37th century equivalent of a QR code is, hidden in the logo.
Okay. So he's specking that.
Yep. Are you scanning it?
Well, his he would be scanning it with his goofy little glasses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect. Perfect person to have this. Yeah, your Google glasses are like, open? And it says yes, no. Click yes. It says, are you
Virus
sure?
check. Threat detection.
You click yes. It says, this may be infected. And about 8 yeses later, you scan it. Give me a hacking check.
Okay, that's just going to be a test.
So just a straight test, yeah. If you're not proficient. No idea.
Ew.
But the system says, the glasses say it's clean.
Okay, he's going to open it.
You open it up. It's just an address. It's not even like a business card quality. It's just like a notepad with an address written on it. It gives directions to a seldom used section of sub-basements that underpin this building complex. The whole complex. Yeah. There, and it shows you the places where you can get into that underground complex. There's at least one in every building, including in this one.
Okay. before we go, he's like, "So this little sticker you tells us might be another location we should take a look at, but we should see this the suspect the crime scene first, yeah."
Precisely.
So you start scanning around. What else are you looking for then? Or you want? Oh, you mean the other crime scene, the murder scene?
We
Yeah,
mean
the
the
actual-
murder
Yeah.
scene.
Okay.
Yeah, the murder
Okay.
scene.
Well, in that case,
A
yeah.
serious crime happens.
Yes, absolutely, it
We're
did.
just outside one.
With that, yes, you step back out. So you step back out into the street. As you step out into the street, I'm going to use it. A shot rings out. Out of the trees. Your eyes all sort of just instinctually snap up and look. Just beyond the tree line, you can see an Invex lowering a rifle and looking down the scope like it must be broken. What
The
do you-
locals. Chad rushes in.
You rush it. It starts rushing you back. It comes out of the trees, heading towards you. At the top of its lung, it's screaming, "Bagels!"
I don't understand Invexi, and I
I'm
take
just
out
going with Chad.
big hammer.
I don't even care.
and
if
I'm
it
gonna.
goes. Let's do this. I want to
Chad
push this.
Quasar is going
So
to
you hit the
home run the
Yeah.
chest plate of this creature.
All right. So the two of you are closing fast. Nova, what are you doing? You seem like the kind of person that would react quickly.
Do I actually have that ability? No, I didn't take. Oh, I did actually take that. So I have Born Fighter.
Okay.
So if this is before initiative starts, I can take a turn before anything happens.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect. Because technically we haven't initiatived yet.
We haven't initiative yet. First thing he's gonna do is he's going to actually no, he's gonna focus and try to shoot out the Invex's leg. Just not to try to kill it, just try to wound it so it just bails.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah. Okay. Because it's a called shot, I'm gonna make you go down one level. So you normally have mastery with this weapon, right?
Yeah.
So
With
instead,
the-
you only have proficiency, so you only roll 2 dice, 5s and 6s,
So-
and you focused. So 4s, 5s, and 6s hit,
All right.
and you can do that
So
on
he
your
pulls
character
out the
sheets.
Halligan arms,
Yeah.
K7 Judge, and
Are you sure you pronounced that right?
maybe. And he whiffs.
Oh,
2 threes.
Fire.
Come on.
You, so the two of them are closing like titans at the end of a movie, and I got this. Unlike Indiana Jones, though, you can't shoot apparently. So instead of making a heroic shot and taking out a leg, you pop the final volleyball, which for completely cinematic reasons goes all around the room like a balloon.
Complete wrong direction.
Yeah. So
I saw something. Blam.
that's your free act. So now, if you would all be so kind as to roll initiative. And that's 2 dice added together for anybody that...
Oh. Bam.
Ooh, a 10.
Okay, so a 5 for... yeah, and what did you have?
Still last anyways. Doesn't matter.
Nova, what did you have?
3.
A 3? Oh my goodness, okay. And that is...
And we still need Belladonna.
No, we got that already.
Oh.
Sorry, what was Chad's?
10.
10. Okay, that was all right. I
6
rolled.
and a 4.
I couldn't remember whether I rolled the 8 or I rolled the 10. All right, so this is it. Yeah, the shot goes off. Volleyball explodes back in the room behind you. I just realized you guys are outside, so he shot through the window, then hit the volleyball, and it's going inside the gym. You are closing rapidly because he's closing too. So you guys are going to collide because let's do this. You slam into that near range because you've got reach with this heavy weapon,
Excellent.
and you wind up
Yeah, I'm just looking to clothesline this
Yep,
this poor creature, the
absolutely.
center of its
Yeah.
chest.
So you just turn it sideways and go at it with the handle of the weapon?
Oh no,
sort of, or you...
like lay into it.
Oh,
just
you're
with the
baseball
heavy
bat.
end.
Okay, yep.
Just crack into its chest.
All right, give us
And
an
after the
attack.
first hit,
Yep.
first hit
That's
with a
what- yeah.
5, he's going to just swirl it around like it weighs 5 pounds and crack on top of the head.
So the second attack,
It's another
2 successes. Yeah, you smash into the rib cage, you spin it around, smash into the head, and you hear from behind you that's effective, darling, but it's hardly pretty. You turn around, and an exceptionally thin, exceptionally old elf with little bits of fur on the top of his ears. He's so old, he's actually got a receding hairline, but he is impeccably dressed. Black patent leather boots with about a 4-inch heel that show off his shapely calves, a waist-length tuxedo coat, and under it a frilly shirt, one of the 70s frilly shirts, but it's open to expose an absolutely hairless and bone-thin chest. You can see the ribs. And they look at the three of you and go, honestly. And they mutter a couple words, and you hear, hush, little baby, don't say a word. And the Invex just falls asleep on the ground in front of you. Ta-da!
Great.
From
One
inside... From inside the gym, you hear, Eddie, you're home! I'll be there in a minute, Ma! In a completely different voice, and then back to you. Hi, how you doing? I'm Eddie Wizard.
Pretty neat trick there, June.
Actually, it's like a first-level spell. It's sleep.
Sure.
It's the only way I put people to sleep. It's not the only way I put people to sleep, but it's the one I can do in public. What are the three of you doing here? I
Well,
asked them
we're,
that too. They're really kind of talking in circles. No one wants to tell me. Shush, Ma. You were saying?
Investigating some crime for some corpo cat who thinks a robot's out to take their profits away from something.
There's been a murder.
Oh, see, that I understood. But, so what, the murder, right over there, they cleaned it up. Mid-level executive, they point across to the rich side of the road again, the executive side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was several days ago. It's not like they're going to leave the body laying in the street. Not like they did over here, right, Ma? Yeah, I know. And it's starting to stink. I've been spraying stuff on it for days.
Well, if you're familiar with the location in the area, then do you know where the perpetrator went?
They went back into the forest that way, but watch out. There's a terrible, ferocious beast that lives in that forest. And the worst fashion style ever.
Nothing I can't handle. Thank you.
That's what you said about the bunny. Okay. Ma, are the cookies ready? So you're here, aren't you? The cookies are ready. Get in here. And Eddie swooshes into the gymnasium to the smell of fresh-baked cookies from somewhere, as him and his mom are eating cookies amongst the busted volleyballs and basketballs.
Is your planet always like this, Belladonna?
Only when people try to murder my people, and she gnashes her mandibles at Chad.
Oh, I didn't try to kill them. I just tried to subdue them because they were breaking the law.
From in the forest, you hear, honk.
Is that the creature? He takes his blaster out.
Nova is not used to jungles and
Yep.
wildlife,
Yep,
so he kind of spooks a little,
yep.
and he's like, okay, so about that secret entrance, I think we should check that out and get away from whatever the hell that is.
You hear, as you wave your hand in that direction, from definitely the same spot, you hear a slightly different honk. And then the sound of something being struck heavily. Then you hear it's a different voice, but it's in the same direction. You're getting a free one. We can't have goose without our sugar-addicted sugar glider. So you're getting 2 for 1.
I'm a little
And
perplexed.
as you look, perplexedly look into the forest, you see a goose about 4 feet tall, like 1.25 meters tall, big goose. And when you see it, it's kind of a dark gray. And then it kind of walks into a shadow, and out of the shadow, when it comes out, it's colored like a Canada goose, but it's got a big cybernetic plate in the side of its head, and one glowing eye going. And on its back, there's a little looks like a backpack, but you realize it's actually a small landing pad, and on it is this tiny furry thing, and you can hardly focus on it. It's just vibrating, just. One of the local inhabitants swoops down out of the tree and tries to grab it. There's just a of feathers. And another.
Belladonna yells at the inhabitant, "That was my food!"
And the giant goose turns and looks at you, nods respectively. Holy crap. I just looked over at our numbers. And turns around and walks into the forest. Slap, slap, slap.
I think things are trying to get us off track, but
Belladonna, in your language and the language of all the other Invex on this planet, you can hear as this visage of insanity moves off into the forest. There's just these voices, and it's like, Cobra chicken, Cobra chicken, Cobra chicken, Cobra chicken, and they're all clearing a path. With that, you make your way. Hopefully. Well, yeah, there's nothing left to investigate on the street, so you're heading for the underground?
Yeah, that's Nova's idea.
I feel more comfortable in concrete spaces.
All right. Where am I? There we go. You find your way to one of these underground entrances, and you start to move down. And actually, the instructions weren't particularly clear. So I need each of you to make a roll for me, just a straight test, as you each try and interpret the instructions. So that's 2 dice. 5s and 6s are successes. Yes, Belladonna? Yeah.
Would it be possible for Belladonna to try to wake up the Invex that was put to sleep?
Oh, absolutely, yes. You give them the tiniest of shake and they wake back up. Ah, what happened? Wow. I was attacking the invader. Oh.
Am I the only one who understands him?
Yes, they're speaking Invex, and the others have kind of moved off. So I'm going to give you this scene.
Why were you shooting at us?
They're going to kill us all. Every time we come anywhere near this compound, they shoot at us. It looked like I thought you were mercenaries. I mean, I'm so glad you're not.
Belladonna kind of looks down. I won't hurt you, but you need to run, because the others will hurt you if they come back out and you're still alive.
Well, you know what we're good at. Hiding. Can you do me a favor?
Of course.
And they pull out their communicator. Can you, and they show you the code. Can you call me when it's safe to come out?
Absolutely.
And you scan, so you can now make contact with them, and they put their unit away, their comms unit away, and look kind of foolishly at their weapon and resheath it. I never was any good with that, and just turn around, and they do that thing that you can all do. You just take 5 steps into the forest and then you're just gone. And then you turn and follow the others. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. That was a cool little scene. I like these quiet moments in the middle of the mayhem. Thank you. That was really fun. You guys start to make your way down. 1 success. Nova got 1 success as well. So I'm only going to... Yeah, that makes sense. Just the 2 of you are looking. You agree this time when you start to follow the path down and down and down and further down. You finally see at the end of this hallway ahead of you. The hallway keeps going. This is just wires and tubes and air conditioning vents and everything. But way down at the end, there's a little door in the concrete wall. It doesn't even have a door on it. It's just an open space, like maybe it was an office for somebody that had to work down here. But as you get closer, you see it's trashed. It's been completely searched, turned upside down. But somebody was living here. There's no bed. There's just a space on the floor where it looks like they were sleeping. There's more of these stickers in a pile next to where they were sleeping. And some oil, the equivalent of blood. They were hurt.
What does Chad know about Autoborgs?
The ones that are being used here are not sentient. That's why he referred to them as it. He claimed that there was an accident which caused this one to go rogue.
Looks like we found the rat man. He starts like looking for what probably a manifesto or something along those lines. Because rat men always have a manifesto.
They do. So you're looking around for that. So I don't need you to roll. What are the other 2 looking for?
I pipe up that this doesn't seem like terrorism to me. It seems like an actual act of rebellion.
Under his breath, Nova's like, "Welcome to the street, Jumba."
Well, maybe there's a difference on some planets, but murdering people on the street sounds like a terroristic threat to me.
Tuesday.
Really make those
You're
poor,
a threat.
innocent corporate workers just
Tuesday.
quaking in their boots, don't you think? And they don't deserve to live like that.
Workers aren't the
representative.
ones under threat.
Yeah, the people that are paid by the company dime. You saw how shakily they were holding their crystal goblet and their champagne. They were shaking all the bubbles out. That
Billionaires
poor...
aren't.
Oh, they're not billionaires.
He was clearly a billionaire.
Well, this conversation is happening just behind you.
It's just an assets. That's not income.
Nova, you see the stack of stickers. The one on the top is slightly askew, and you notice the QR code. I mean, this is your glasses see it right away. It's not the same. All the other ones, you look at the whole stack, they've all got this address on them, but this one has a different address. Somebody's apparently assaulting a tin can just outside my window.
Okay.
So you scan this one as well?
Yeah.
You boop. It's another address. All the way back up on the surface. But this one has a timestamp. Right now.
Nova stands up and he's like, "So I just found another cookie crumb, and it looks like this one's timed."
You're underground, so you can feel the compression of the explosion on the surface.
And that would be why.
We gotta stop this madman before he instills fear in more hearts. All right.
And so the 3 of you take off at high speed back for the surface? Is that... I don't want to put words in your mouths, but...
Is there anything else in the room other than this spot of oil and the stickers?
It looks like they were living here. This place got found while they were away. They came back, left this clue, and left for places unknown. Well, places known now.
Yeah.
Maybe they took the climbing equipment so they could descend.
There is no
Attack
climbing.
those.
There's no climbing equipment here.
Yeah, they're going for those poor shareholders. Let's get going.
I'm gonna hang back from the group.
Okay. Nova, you're
I'll
full
still
speed
follow
net.
them from a distance.
He takes a moment when he sees Belladonna stop, thinking maybe they saw something we didn't. But Nova's from Ascended Nowhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't really understand the impacts. He barely understands the gen.
Yeah. So you. Yeah.
Just takes off.
So you're heading up. The two of you first. Belladonna. What do you do with this moment?
I follow behind them from a safe distance because I don't consider Chad to be safe.
Sure. Yeah.
I consider him to be a threat to not only Invex but any group that's not part of the main. That billionaires wouldn't, that the corporations wouldn't agree with.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't lost on me that the corporate leader wasn't an Invex.
Yes. Absolutely. So you follow behind them, not trusting, but at least following behind. So the two of you burst out onto the surface to see over on the over on the fancy side of the street, on the fancy side of the round square, a building marked as Electronics and Computing Supply Center is on fire. The whole bottom floor, all the windows have been blown out. There's smoke billowing out and large amounts of flame. You look around, there's no corporate response.
They're really escalating things. First murder and now damage of property.
Does this location coincide with one of the tunnels?
There's tunnels in all of these buildings, so yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I see where you were going there.
Yeah, he's gonna think maybe. Oh gosh. What's the next closest one? The tunnel. The tunnels are all connected, yeah.
Yep. So you can go into any building, and you've been down there now. There's you are here posters everywhere. So you could absolutely, if you want to try and track him underground, that is absolutely a possibility.
Okay. What are the closest, like the next closest places?
This building's in the middle. On one side of it, there is the executive gym, which is much nicer. It's all glass, but it's one-way glass, so you can't see in. But it's all glass. It looks like the almost like the bird nest at a couple of Olympics ago, with all the metal bars around it and then the glass inside. Looks a lot like that, because that's what I just saw in my head, so that's what it looks like now. And then on the other side is the actual HQ building where you guys were earlier.
Okay.
And then beyond that, down the street, is executive lodgings. Fancy ass. When you call it a condo and tell somebody they own it instead of calling it an apartment and tell them they rent it. Yeah.
He's not sure where they're going to go next.
So you're kind of with the fire lighting your face.
Yeah. There's nothing we can do about that fire.
No, it's way too big already.
Yeah.
As you're pondering this, Eddie, you burst out into the day. You see the big fire and the rich people building across the street. Nova pauses.
Is there anything that any of that high-tech gear can do? Maybe if we try to look into some of the security footage, you probably have a adapter or something on your... Just looking unfamiliar with anything digital and just like kind of gestures towards this cyborg. And then he goes, wait a second, I think I might have a VGA port. And he like goes and opens up a side of his neck, and he's going to try and ask for the help of Nova, because this isn't a specialty. Try and work with him to tap into any sensors or feeds.
Absolutely.
To try and see if we can find this guy on the security footage.
So you're going to try and hack in. You're thinking about running downstairs. Belladonna, with all your experience in hunting, what do you do?
I'm going to try to save people, even at the risk to myself.
Okay.
I may not like them,
Yeah.
but they still don't deserve to die.
You start charging towards this fire and trying to find a way in. You hear from inside, "Monk," and a huge gust of wind, and the fire is blown out in a certain section of the building inside. You look inside, and there's a third duck, this one almost completely white, flapping its wings fiercely, beating back the flames into the other room. Just behind it, there's on its back, there's a sugar glider and an axolotl in a spacesuit, cheering it on, and that's about all they can do right now. And just behind that, there's a grandmotherly old lady and a very well-dressed wizard following along behind them, feeding them cookies as they blow a path through this building. What they need, Belladonna, is someone who's big and strong enough to drag out these people who have been overcome by smoke.
Okay, I'll try to.
There is no try. This is a movie. You guys are heroes. You do. You just start finding these unconscious people, and you grabbing them as little as they deserve to be saved. You save every single one of them. You pull them out into the sun, back in for another one, pull out another one over and over. You, Goose, and company are heroes, saving lives more than you could possibly imagine, by the dozen. Meanwhile, the two of you hack into the system. Give me a hacking roll with advantage, Eddie. So the least
Chad
tech
is
person,
just like thinking to himself.
Chad
as
is just
he's
like the least tech person ever. Go. I'll just put in my
his
pin number.
vision isn't looking at the people because like he's not a horrible person. He
Yes.
just didn't think anyone was in the building,
Yes.
and he's just like
Yeah.
like listening to plugging in the audio
Oh,
jack
yeah.
and like getting all the sound footage of
Yeah.
like all the other things, and it's just washing out all the screaming.
Yep, behind you,
and-
yes.
Hooks into the mainframe.
With that, you scan and you can see everything that was. You were right. Stuff was stolen from this building before the fire was set. You watch back the footage and you see this figure go in and set up this device and then steal a bunch of electronics, mostly scanning gear and stealth-based stuff. And then they turn around and flip this switch and it explodes, knocking them back off of their feet. They leap up and try and put it out, but they can't. They turn and run out the back of the door. From that point on, the video footage is gone, but everything that they just stole has an RFID chip in it. An AirPod, if you will, and you can track them by that. And you follow this line of dots back down into the basement, heading back towards the place you just came from.
Discovered the location of the perpetrator that is now turned into an arsonist. Belladonna, are you done over there? I think we've found our. Oh, there's people. Oh,
You, Belladonna, you haul out what you are absolutely convinced is the last of them. No one was. A couple people were overcome with smoke, but no one permanently injured. You are, by the time they come back from this, sitting. You find yourself. It's like a grandmother's trick. You find yourself sitting in a circle, sharing cookies, with all of the people you just rescued, and a duck or goose that keeps changing form. And this furry thing that hardly ever sits still because it just keeps going, cookie, wee, and then flying all over the place. And then stopping and going, another cookie, please. I'm getting tired. And then wee on another cookie. And this tiny axolotl in a spacesuit full of water that just keeps grinning at you like they're not quite sure what's going on. Granny hands you another cookie, looks over at Eddie. Eddie he's gotten comfortable. He's no longer wearing the ensemble he was wearing before. He is now wearing what can only be described as a leisure suit house dress. So it's done in that sort of pale peach color. And it looks like it's a jacket and pants thing, but there's no shirt underneath it. So there's just this same bony chest. Like Don Johnson without the shirt. Except he doesn't have any fuzz. No fuzz at all because he's an elf. And big comfy slippers. They're actually fuzzy bunny slippers, but you can see on the side they say Gucci. They're probably like 2,000 credits. He's got them kicked up on a rock, and he's eating his cookies like this. Well, that took long enough. Have you figured it out yet? Eddie, don't be rude.
Nova's like, listen, Choom, where I come from, it's usually just a smash and grab. People don't think about this kind of stuff. sell the gear, get the eddies, move on to the next gig. I'm not used to people with plans.
Well, this is rife with malice and forethought.
Love this character's ability to just see things
So
through
am
their
I.
own face. I love it.
Well, I think it's in our best interest to stop them from putting people in harm's way anymore. And also, excellent work, Belladonna. I really put together an amazing team. Right.
You put together? You didn't hire us.
No,
just
but I
thinking-
recommended as a senior explorer that we all work together.
I'm like, Belladonna's been at this longer than you have.
But you can see the beep, 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 beep of the light, the tags going further and further into the darkness. The plot receding into the distance.
So, crazy terrorist guy, we should get on that.
Yeah.
Won't be
Right.
helping you with that.
So, one rushing forward, one following ironically, and then one following fearing the worst. I think we know who you are. I know you all. You all know who you are. You leave the picnic.
Oh
The-
no, I'm
Oh, you're
doing something
You're
totally
staying behind
different.
again? Excellent. I love this. Split the party. Always split the party. The two of them go bolting off after Adam. What do you do?
I am going to contact the Invex from before and ask for help establishing a more organized rebellion against the corporation.
Damn. You pull out your phone. And you beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. It answers on the first ring and you start having a conversation. No, this idea is too good. Besides which, you guys have like so many rerolls I haven't even... This is why I keep saying you don't have to roll, because you guys have got like a bazillion rerolls paid for. Speaking of which, we're just over an hour in. Thought I might mention, we're at $250 donated. And let me quickly check. That still does not include the 50 from D20G.
Oh, wow.
So we are at $300 so far. Let's
Is that
keep this
American
going.
dollary dues or
Those
Canadian
are
dollar dues?
American dollar
Whoa,
dues.
so that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
5,000
$1
Canadian.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, as I found out the exchange rate this afternoon.
You could almost
yes.
buy a house with that
Yeah.
in Canada.
In Detroit.
So yes, and thank you for mentioning that, because you buy a block. But thank you for mentioning that, because the donations are in U.S. dollars. It's really clear when you go there and donate, but it is in U.S. dollars, and the exchange rate is a little punishing. But
It's
it
about
is what it is.
it's an extra $3.
It's for
I paid
fixing U.S. legal system.
for
So it makes
50.
sense.
That's Equal Justice Institute. Believe me. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's take this break as you guys are just about to bolt, split the party and bolt into the final sort of phase of this. Let's first of all, I'm going to run a short video. There's no sound because I want you to read it. This is a couple of paragraphs that I literally cut and pasted from the Equal Justice Institute website. This is about who they are. Rather than me trying to explain it, this is them. So let me find the button. All right. Not pleasant, not a nice read, but true. The way I kind of put it in my own head is they're trying to put the justice back in the American justice system. And today of all days, maybe that's extra poignant. For those of you that are watching in the future, it is June 24th, 2022. You may or may not have to Google that date. It may be famous by the time you watch this for all the wrong reasons. They are, thank you from chat. EJI has a perfect score from Charity Navigator, a service that rates charities for their efficacy. So not only are they raising money for a good cause, but that money's getting to the cause. It's getting to the problem and solving it and working hard to get this done. I cannot say enough for people that put this sort of thing as a priority in their life to make other people who shouldn't be being punished to try and solve that. Yeah, no woman should go to prison for seeking health care. You shouldn't, the reason you go to jail shouldn't be your color or your income. These are all things that need desperately now more than ever to be addressed and to be...
It shouldn't even be a discussion.
It shouldn't, but it is. And so this is what this money is for. So pile it in there. You see, I got 4 going now. I can keep this up all frickin' night. Throw more at me. More NPCs. Let's make some money because this is for a good cause. You may give me a breakdown and I don't frickin' care. Let's raise a ton of money for this. And I know... You know, you're looking at our monk going, yeah, 300, that's nice and everything. We're not the only group doing this. There's other groups doing this as we speak and who have done so over the last number of days. This is not a one-day event. We're still doing this for 2 more nights. So we're going to see exactly how much we can get and how much we can get to this good cause that, like I said, is more poignant and more timely than ever. So with that, that's real life and that's important, but let's get back to the silliness because for right now, we got a couple hours to get away from that and play a game. So, chat, $10 each, man. There's still, as far as I know, there are still 4 freebies out there too. So, if you honestly cannot afford $10 to put your NPC in this game, just type that NPC into chat. 4 of them are covered by Dirty 20 Gaming. Let's get back into this. The 2 of you charge down the stairs and start heading back into the darkness underground. It's easy to follow. You can see the skid marks. This time they definitely weren't hiding. In fact, give me a test unless you've got perception bonusing stuff. 5 from you. Oh my goodness. That was you that did that. Okay. I have to scan down to see who made the donations, but wow, Thunderscape, that's amazing. Thank you. No successes, 1 success, 1 success. So yes, as you're charging down, this makes perfect sense. Eddie, you're like, bad guy. I'm on bad guy killing duty. I'm gonna get this guy. Just behind
Save
him.
the people.
Yes, Nova. You're having doubts. This trail that you're following is too obvious. This is a trail of someone who's leaving a trail and wants to be found. 9 freebies from chat. Don't hold back, folks. They've been bought and paid for. You can use them. If you can afford one yourself, please do. But if you can't, chuck that in there. NPC, 1 sentence in chat. They will be in within 2 minutes. I got 2 places to put them now.
Okay, so it's obviously, so there's an accomplice. Immediately he thinks there's a crew.
Okay. Does that make you drop back a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
He said leadingly?
Yeah, he's starting to draw back. When they get to a junction, like anytime there's a fork or you know, he watches Chad go one way, he's gonna look the other way.
Okay.
Like he's starting to think that this guy's leaving a trail so that somebody else can get away.
Okay. As you sort of, you kind of run by and look. You can't really, you haven't got time to stop on every side panel. But what you realize is that you can see Adam's footprints in the dust and the dirt in the bottom of this tunnel, and you can also see the footprints of your party member as well ahead of you. And you look down and you can see you're leaving your own. So You look down these side hallways and there's nothing. So it doesn't appear to be an ambush.
Well, you're slowing down. Come on.
Back up on the surface. Belladonna, what are you doing? You heading, you make your call. They asked to meet you. He says, give me 5 and meet me behind the HQ. The arrogant bastards don't have a camera back there.
I agree to it, and I'll ask the picnicking crew to go with me.
Granny says, oh, yeah, that's a very good idea. We probably shouldn't be doing this right in front of everyone, should we? And she starts shooing everybody, like grandmaing all of you around the corner. Come on now, come on now. Oh, no, don't leave that in the grass. You can't be, no, we can't litter. And it just, and Eddie's just rolling his eyes and picking up his plastic cup and he's like, oh, Mom. But they all start to move to a safe location around the corner. They have people to clean this stuff up, and he throws it in the air, and she just looks at him. And here's a nice little moment for you. Actually, she looks at him, and time stops. The cup freezes in the air. Everything else keeps moving, but the cup just stops halfway to the ground, and she looks over at him and says, Edward? And he just... And he shrinks and walks over and takes the cup out of the air and walks over and puts it in the proper receptacle.
So which one has the time freezing power?
It's her.
Never mess with Baba.
She froze. Yeah, she was. That's grandma magic.
Yeah.
Which is whatever magic is necessary to teach their children and their grandchildren how to behave. Yes, Edward. His last name's not Wizard either. Nobody's asked.
Yeah.
Eddie could be completely exposed in this episode.
You don't want her to pull out power word la chancla.
Power word middle name.
Yeah.
that's the magic grandma power. So with that, you get them out of sight. You run around the back of the HQ building, and you can't see anything, but you know that means nothing. You step into the forest. And I asked you right at the start, what's it like being home? But that was in an open space full of people. This is the forest. This is the ferns and the funguses and all that means to you. What's it like to drop back into that space?
It finally feels like I'm home. And that means I'll do everything in my power to protect it.
As you kind of step in and just that it comes to you and you just relax into this space and you take your rightful space here. And they come down out of the trees and up out of the fungus and out from under the mushrooms and from everywhere. The hidden ones you don't know are there until they move an eye stalk to look. The ones that look just like a leaf until they turn against the wind to face you. Invex for miles. Thousands of them. All looking to you for leadership. Your contact says, what do we do?
I suddenly don't know. Like, I have these grand ideas, but...
That is okay. I have some idea myself, eh? You turn and look, and there's an Invex taking off a backpack. And he plunks it down on the ground and opens it up, and it's just full of explosives. I can, make it go boom for sure.
My eyes go wide for a second, and I'm like, let's call that plan Z.
Well, for sure, you get them out first, eh? And then I blow up what's left behind so that they don't get hurt, but they don't got no place to go, eh?
But we want the poor people to have a place to be able to use those spaces.
Oh, that's even more fun. Those big buildings, they are harder to drop, eh? I bet you I take that big one in 3 bangs, eh? And he starts taking out 3 charges and puts them on the ground.
Put them back.
Ah, shit, you're no fun at all, eh? What do you want me to blow up? Maybe a distraction, eh?
make sure nothing gets destroyed and nobody gets hurt.
How about I fling some big rock, eh?
As long as it just makes a noise, yes.
And maybe I smash some of their pavement a little bit, eh? That ugly fountain in the middle, I'd kill that, eh? And, I mean, it's nasty.
Very bouge.
It's like a cherub invex.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh,
getting
yes.
wa-
I was
getting
wondering if I
watered
should go
by,
there.
like-
if it's
by, like, a
disrespectful,
human.
if it's actually
It's not even an
disrespectful.
Wow.
invex. It's a human. It's a corpo like version of an invex.
Oh,
so
yeah.
all of the proportions are wrong, and
Yeah.
And just like the thing it's pouring on just says clean water. It's like, wow. Wow.
clean water TM.
GM. Oh, they're pushing you. Don't let them push you, Belladonna, but that's the scene.
We need to decide how to get the corporation out of power first.
Well, you know they're down in the big hole, eh? Underneath. How about I make just a little hole? I mean, like a little one, eh? Only some people could go through. And I'll bet they come face to face with this. And he points over his shoulder, and an army is an understatement. There are just more Invex of all varieties just pouring in all the time. I bet they go pretty quick, eh?
How about we arrest them?
That works too, yeah, for sure.
This is our planet.
You want to nationalize it, eh? Vive la homeworld! And you hear behind him, just it's echoing off into the trees over and over. They start taking it down. Vive la homeworld! Vive la homeworld! Oui, oui, Monsieur Guillotine, he has spoken, eh? He's trying to take over the revolution.
At the
Thank you,
Vive la
Chad.
Revolution, Nova stops like, did you hear something?
Yeah, the two of you are running down the stairs, yes.
I'm just looking forward to having
Let's do
this
yeah,
place
let's
finally get a little bit of peace. And, maybe they can put in some affordable housing in the area. Just kind of really spruce things up a little bit.
Character growth. Ah! In a one shot. Ah! They said it couldn't be done. Ah!
I think Belladonna's been showing a lot of development.
Yeah.
As you're
There's-
charging into the darkness, you
There's
say
a pause from Nova after the whole affordable housing, and
Yeah.
he's like, start.
that. And from
It
just
just kind of it doesn't sound like Nova when he says it.
yeah. And
Well, you gotta still make a profit, so affordable is kind of a relative term.
There it is.
and ahead of you in the darkness, you hear, "Ah, you do understand."
Chad pulls his gun.
Or maybe you don't.
Nova does not.
Show yourself, shiny man.
And they step out of a doorway with their hands up, no weapons visible. I'd say it's a pleasure to see you, but it's clearly not.
What's your angle, June?
And he smiles and turns to look at you. I want to bring down the powers that be.
How you plan on doing that?
I know where information is that can prove that everyone on that side of the street is into this up to their neck. Kickbacks, payoffs, corruption from top to bottom. I know where the information is, but I need to go and get it. I got some of... Unfortunately, the other night, they were going to blackmail me. And I attempted to take the false information that they had in the briefcase and was forced to overcommit.
Chad's gonna holster his pistol on his back and approach, getting within the near range.
Yeah, and he does this like he's, willing you to, if you choose, you can frisk them.
Nova's
Right,
going
Adam.
to just try to determine his motives using
Okay.
detective.
Using detective.
Just-
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
So,
give me
advantage,
an advantage roll.
2 6s.
A critical success. Wow, you read him like a book. He's absolutely legit. He absolutely means what he says. He is, as far as he's concerned, he wants to start the revolution. But he is honestly feels bad that he was forced, because that's what he believes, to kill this person that had the blackmail information. He stole the
Right,
climbing
so-
gear because he needs it to get to this place.
Right. So Adam, you were forced into a situation in which you had to kill several people and then steal company property.
Just one person.
Oh, well, everyone gets one for free, and then he's going to take out his handcuffs and
Yeah.
proceed to arrest
Okay.
this Autoborg.
He allows you to cuff him. No question. In fact, he holds out his wrists.
Oh, behind you.
Oh, of course. Turns around and holds them up behind you. So, okay, go ahead. As Nova, you were going to say something? I was using the wrong voice anyway.
When he does, or when they do the walkout,
Yeah.
Nova makes sure that he's directly behind Adam,
Mm-hmm. Adam.
and
Yep.
no, I'm not going to do it yet. No.
I need you to answer this and be honest with me because my associate will know whether or not you're lying. Did you plant any more explosives?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not a one. And then
He
from
looks over at Nova.
behind you, Chad, you hear a voice that is as familiar to you, more familiar than you'd care to know. You hear your grandmother's voice. Chad Witherspoon Spencer, you take those handcuffs off that person immediately.
Chad, mother?
You turn around and your grandmother is stepping through a portal in the wall. I heard from your mother that you were being a shit, and I didn't believe it. I tried to defend you at the family dinner, but look at this.
I'm doing my job. I took an oath.
She walks up and looks up at you and tries to slap you on the face, but she's too short, so it just goes whiff.
She probably has the power over him where she like beckons and then he puts his hand out and then takes it and goes, Chad, mother, this is entirely unprofessional. I'm on a job.
How often have I told you? Sometimes there's things more important than your job. Like your father's birthday. And you realize you've missed it for years.
Was that this year?
As oh my God, hellhounds, Chad mother.
Does she have the smacking sandal of doom? Yes. Chad mother. Yes, you did. It's a Chad mother. I didn't
As
say it,
this
but
is
it is now.
happening-
Yes.
As this is happening, Nova taps
her,
Adam
Chad.
on the shoulder,
Yeah.
and on the visor scrolls across "Burn Corpo shit," and he unlocks the cuffs and
TM.
gives him a yeah,
Yeah.
and he just gives him a nudge.
Let me know if I am too distracted by my Chad mother or
No.
if I have to do something else.
Okay, give me a roll. See if you see it. Let's just give it a straight test. Oh,
Straight test.
Peloton is getting
I'm
ready to do
just-
something. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be
just-
big. One success. You realize something's happening. You go to turn your head, and she just grabs your chin and straightens it back out like she's not done with you yet.
Please, not in front of my coworkers.
You're never going to learn. Just follow this nice young boy. He seems like a good influence, and she's pointing at Nova.
He uses slang.
Mohawked and his glasses and his conversations that nobody can understand. And then she says the words you have feared since you were a child. Don't make me take out the sandal. This sandal has knocked you out in your youth.
Nova visibly twitches like a wince.
I will return to Father when I'm able to. I have put in a time off request. The detective, the Pinkertons, they say that there's a long wait. 4 years. It should be fine.
You bought him a tie this year. You bought him a tie last year, too. I know you didn't, but you did. That's what
He
it said.
likes ties.
He's been retired for 6 years.
Well, he has to, go down to the station and, chat up the other fellows. They can't say, "Oh, look at you, Chad. You have the same tie as last year." No, got to keep up appearances.
She's just tapping her little foot. It's like
Sorry.
it's like the heartbeat under the floor and the telltale heart, right?
Right after I stop this terrorist, come and I'll visit my father. Okay?
And yes, and he does sometimes wear ties when he goes to the office. He wears 2 of them at a time because he's retired. Thank you, chat.
Glad that they're
Thank
still
you,
doing that little.
And with that, whoosh, back up the stairs. Your grandmother left downstairs for the moment. Oh, no, she comes up with you and goes around the corner to join the picnic. That's where I'm going to put them all. They're all the NPCs are going to end up at that picnic. So your grandmother goes around the corner, and you immediately hear the voices of 2 grandmothers starting to compare how terrible their children and their children's children are. And you hear about yourself in the conversation. But you get back to the surface. But back on that surface, before you guys get up there, we're back with Belladonna and the revolution in the backyard. The explosives expert has stamped away all of his explosives. Some of them going into the case so hard that you worry that there might be an explosion. But he straps it down and puts it back on his back. So what it is you want us to do? You want us to get the peoples out, eh?
The common people need to be removed before we arrest the executives.
Well, how about those of us with, the gift of gab, eh? We go to the worker side there and we get all those people to come out, eh? And I think I got the way maybe we get that other building empty too, eh?
Are you trying to usurp my role?
Not at all, but I just got a plan, eh? For sure, I don't want to be the leader. You know what happens to leaders, eh? My last name. Guillotine. Yeah. No, I'm much more the power behind the throne guy, eh?
That phrase sends her into a rage, and she immediately gestures to her, to the one she had called to have him taken out.
Oh shit, okay, for sure, all right, you guys have fun, eh? Enjoy the revolution, okay, for sure. As he's dragged away into the trees. Your friend returns. He's an ass, but I think he might have had a good idea. You know how much they, what they think of our children, and they kind of tap a tree trunk and hold out an arm, and 100 tiny Invex run out onto their arm and hand. We could just have a infestation.
Brilliant. But
Child soldiers.
First, there's something I have to do, she says as she hears Chad's voice.
You turn around to face Chad, and far in the distance in the trees you hear and a rock goes and splashes harmlessly out in the middle of a distant lake.
Did I just hear that the incredibly recognizable sound of a mangonel in the distance? Oh. This planet has everything. So glad we discovered it.
Discovered? You claim discovery of my home planet, you asshole!
Oh, that's a terribly strong language to use in the workplace.
What workplace? You're fired!
You're fired.
No, we just caught and he looks and he sees that the terrorist has escaped.
Yeah.
And he's
It's like
gonna.
a blinking outline where he used to be.
Yeah.
Where did Adam go? And he's gonna look around.
Oh, and by the way, you're also detained for not only racist language, imperialist activity. You know what? The list is too long to describe.
Imperialist
And-
activity is my culture. How dare you? He's gonna
And she
resist
just
getting
clicks-
detained by
Adam-
anybody.
Clicks her claws, and her friend comes over.
Yeah. At this point, Adam steps out. He had bolted, but he hears all this and he just turns around and comes back. So, if one might have a word, I don't think we're working at cross purposes at all. It would be wonderful if we could get them out, and he points to the rich side of the street, and get them over there, living as they should be. But to do that, I need one piece of proof. It is suspended in a safe in that gymnasium, in the middle, using a anti-gravity field of all bloody things. In the middle of their entertainment tower floats a safe that I have the keys to. But I need to climb down to it from the ceiling, and to do that I need more of a distraction than as talented as you are. And he bows deeply to Belladonna. The locals can provide. Do you think the three of you are up for a bit of a raid?
The burn corpo shit goes across.
Belladonna, I see you grinning. Belladonna just grins.
Absolutely.
The little mouth parts start to go, nah. Maybe a little bit of poison drips out, on the roll. But the big question, how does our dear Chad respond to this? Remember, your grandmother's watching you. A sandal flies down from above. Chad, just as you're about to comment, the sandal with
sounds like
Infinite
that-
Doom smashes into the ground next to you.
Just embedded in the concrete.
If this company is breaking the law, and you can
They
prove
are.
it, then we will. Well, they worked hard to get where they are. That's why they have so much wealth. Anyways, if they're cheating, in the rarest of cases, then I suppose we can arrest you after we discover the proof. As long as we don't kill any innocents, I'm all right with it.
And with that, we move into the final chapter. The noise in the bright white go-karts.
Belladonna whispers to Adam and Nova, "Can I please eat him after?"
This is Eddie talking. We can just have a 1v1 at the end of the session.
Well, let's see if we can't hear our way out of this first. But
Meanwhile, Nova's thinking, Choom, I think that goes against the company policy on fraternization.
Adam looks at the three of you and says, all right then, the way it's built is it's a 4-floor building. On the very top floor is restaurants and bars. I'm going to be coming in through the glass ceiling straight down the middle because it's rings around a central tower, and that's where the safe is. So I'll be coming in from there. Quite obvious, actually, so I need you to distract them. On the 3rd floor, you're going to find a go-kart track and a bowling alley. On the 2nd floor, a track and field venue with all that entails, and an eternal beach with sunset TM. On the ground floor, there's a swimming pool and a swimming with robots dolphins display. I don't think you need any more help than that. I'm going to the roof. I can get you in through the back door. I don't even want to know what you're doing. And he grabs his climbing gear and the electronics gear that he's stolen and starts strapping him onto his vest. Chad, what are you doing? He's about to break in and steal stuff. I know you said if he had proof, but are there doubts? If Grandma wasn't here.
If Grandma wasn't here, I would be arresting this man.
In that case, thank you, chat. This works arrested too, but so you begrudgingly agree, I guess. So,
What activity do we want to do?
go-karts, bowling alley, track and field, Eternal Beach, swimming pool, robot dolphins. You don't all have to go to the same place. Always.
I have an idea.
There are guards on each of the floors, he says. 2 on each of the floors, so we'll need something quite spectacular. We are about to head into the big scene for this episode. So, chat, if you were waiting, there's still a ton left. Give me a couple NPCs that are going to randomly show up in this final encounter as they try and create distractions.
Okay, so
He takes you to the back door and sneaks you into the staff entrance, the one place they'll never look. And you have access to the whole building through the staff access points.
Nova's gonna head up to the go-kart floor.
Oh, finally somebody said it. I mean, just yeah.
And he's going to grab one of the go-karts from the back.
Yep.
And instead of going onto the go-kart floor, he is going to the beach floor with the go-kart.
Yes.
And he's going to do some donuts.
All right. So you're going to have to get from there to there. So that's going to down several flights of escalator and into the beach so you can go beach riding. Absolutely. That is your plan. Beach and a go-kart. That's all I need to know. Belladonna.
I'm going to make loud screeching noises at the point with the best acoustics.
Screaming for effect. I love it. Oh yeah, and we can let that. We're going to invent a whole new attack. Actually, you've got one. You can do a ranged attack, so it's your psionic attack, right?
Biomancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have biomancy. I just don't have listed what the different parts of it are.
I have them right here, actually. I marked them. For biomancy, you can do a bioorganic shock, which does 1 damage at range, which is what I figured you were doing right now. If you do the test you do it regularly, you do the test with advantage. If you do it with disadvantage and still hit, you'll do 2 damage instead of 1. You also have the ability to enhance a test, and you can give yourself advantage on your next test. Or you can use fast, which gives you 2 additional actions this turn, but you take 2 hit points of damage. Or you can heal somebody for 2 hit points.
Chad,
I was just going to make loud noises so that they hear, so that my location is given away.
Yep.
So that everybody comes running to me.
Perfect. Okay,
If
so you're
I
just
have a
gonna
clever
boom,
plan,
boom, boom.
if I might suggest, Zia, Belladonna does so in the dolphin floor so that the screech messes with the electronics on those robot dolphins.
Perfect.
I love it.
Because supersonics.
Yep. Oh yeah,
and-
ultrasonics and megasonics, because this is a space opera, so there's megasonics here too.
so many sonics.
With that, oh, I love this.
What's Chad's idea?
Chad.
no
one is looking. No one, even Grandma is outside.
Even Grandma.
She's outside.
Okay.
No one can see you right now. What do you do?
Do I see Steve Dave von Dave Steve, my
Yes.
childhood hero?
Yes, you do.
Fuck. Okay. I see him just curl an iron
Yeah,
on the track and field and
Yeah.
just
yeah.
like checks his breath, and, like, fixes his hair that's like partially chrome,
Yeah.
and like walks in and goes, "Not 65 pounds you got there." pretty nice. And he's just going to start working out and trying to impress his childhood hero and
Yeah.
just have a,
you're
he's just
85.
bro afternoon.
And he's So yeah, you sit down and start doing
Nice,
that.
nice.
bro
That's what I
off.
warm up with too, and we're just doing a back and forth.
Yeah,
Top Gun
every
2
every
scene.
time somebody says something, you reach back and add another 10 pounds, and you're just I love it.
Bro off.
So yeah, you're in the gym, pressing for success. That's what that title
Girls
is.
for the girls is what he says.
All right. So with that, the second that you engage any physical features in this building, so the second that you start your yell, the second that you start that go-kart, and the split second you pull that first bicep curl, you engage the inspirational music from the corporation. And so, the final battle, the greatest scene ever recorded in film, happens to a light piano jazz. I don't need an order. Let's just start with working out. I need Chad. I need you to flex for me. Give me a roll and tell me why it would be an advantage.
He's a Jen.
Well, you're a Jen, it's your childhood hero. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting my processors on overclock,
Yeah.
making sure more blood flows and just
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said bicep curls, but we're doing this for
Yeah,
some reason.
I don't know why we're doing butterfly.
We're doing lats.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Shows how little I gym. Shows how little I gym. So, one success. So yeah, you're pulling, and every time you up, he ups too. But now there's the rest of the Jimmies are starting to hang around, and they're starting to cheer and bet on each of you. Some bastard bet against you that you've known since like high school. Dick.
Oh, what's Brad doing here?
Oh, Brad's a dick. I hate Brad. Meanwhile, downstairs you let loose with a shriek. This is like something you do. So give me with an advantage roll, please, Belladonna. You find that acoustically perfect spot. It's the worst combat music ever. I
Two
love it.
sixes.
2 6s. This is a
Killer.
critical success. Oh, thank you for the idea, Bison. You let loose with this primal like you're home. This is the first time it's been acceptable to make this noise since you left this planet. And you let roar with this feral howl. And the dolphins join you in a chorus. You've got 40 mechanical dolphins fighting against their programming and screaming in their natural voices. Dust is coming off the rafters. Pillars are shaking and starting to fall. Pictures are coming off the wall. All the letters of those pointless inspiration posters are all curling up and dying at the whole truth of it all. It's a critical success. You absolutely have distracted a huge chunk of people. On the top floor. For some reason, they're gas-powered go-karts. You jump in.
Of course.
It will not start unless you put the seatbelt on because it's a Canadian gas-powered go-kart. It's me. Oh shit! You put the seatbelt on. What do you do? There was somebody.
First thing
asked for
Brad
something.
does.
Oh yes.
Sorry. not
Oh
Brad,
yeah. Perfect timing.
Nova.
Yeah.
First thing Nova does is he comes bursting out of the staff doors on the
Yep.
the go-kart
On the
floor.
go-kart. Yeah.
Comes down, does a couple of donuts right at the starting line,
Yep.
and then he makes his way, because it's a go-kart, it's small enough.
Yes.
He makes his way into the concession stands, into the arena, and like starts ripping around in the
Into
track
there,
there.
and you're just driving along with all your focus, and in your rearview mirror, you see something coming, something small and fast and spewing smoke and profanity. It's just swearing fiercely in a small green head with little goggles looking out of the top of a bedpan. An upside down bedpan with a little hole cut in it. And there's this little goblin sticking out with 2 control rods, and he's driving this steam-powered tank at extraordinary speeds. He pulls up beside you, pulls up on top of you, stops, reach out and grabs your face. He just goes, "You're slow!" Jumps back in it, gone ahead of you down the stairs. The race is on. Give me your roll.
Oh, it's on tube.
Yeah.
Stuff it.
You reach back, pull the regulator off of the off of the go-kart and slam
Dump
the
in a
throttle
bottle
down.
of Chew-Chew,
Yeah.
grain alcohol, gas. Let's just
Yep.
give her.
A little bit of drinking and go-karting. Little bit of meth and driving. Not in the real world, kiddies, but this is pretend. So yes, eyes this big behind the goggles no one can see. In fact, they're so big you can see the eyes from behind the goggles peeking out. Give us a roll.
All right.
Advantage for any reason? Nah, you can't drive anything. 2. Everybody's
All
good,
right.
just nobody's great. And yes, please keep those donations coming in. No, oh man.
Oh no, I was focusing. You said.
You
said it.
also get 2 actions plus you got rerolls. So
That's true.
Give me a reroll, and then we're gonna work them both in. Because I'm assuming you're gonna succeed.
Ooh.
Yeah. You pull up beside him, just about to pass him. You realize he's dropped back on purpose, and he pit maneuvers you just as you go by, and he spins you out. But you, turn into it instead of against it, and go with the spin instead of against it, and pull a full 360 and get yourself back in front of him, heading. But the thing is, you've come out of the concession, and in the process, you are now heading down the up escalator at speed, heading for the next floor down. Next, back in the gym. The gear, you guys are maxed out. Like, you got people sitting on the weights behind you now to increase the tension. The gear itself is starting to bend. There's a big sign on the walls, not guaranteed for gen use. And you're just cranking weights. So what do you do to make this even better?
He's just staring at
Just
childhood
Not
hero
even
Dave
breathing.
Steve. Just. Oh, now that we've begin to warm up, I think we can go for a little bit of light foot race. Remembering all those serials. Fastest guy on any planet.
and he drops the weights, and you see the way his arms come down. It's like he was done. Like maybe 2 more. Yeah, foot race. Yeah. What's around the building?
Oh, well, there's a track and field. You can do a few miles and then do some shot put and some javelin.
You run out onto the field and start to run, and in an effort to help, the gym boys are trying to hand you the javelin as you're running, which is potentially problematic. So see if you can catch it without hurting yourself.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
helping, but
They're
they've had
helping?
many
All right.
steroids. And they're not helping well.
Oh, okay. I'll just do a regular test.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, 2
Ah.
successes. Yeah.
Perfect.
You are now mounted with a lance. You're running with a lance. Sorry, you're not mounted. You're running, but with a lance, like the javelin, like a lance. Not ambulance.
High
He's not
knees. High knees, Steve Dave.
here. You pull out in front of him and force him to look at you from behind. This is it. This is the big dream. This is the day you are beating Steve at heroing. The guards are screaming. The audience is screaming. The gym boys are screaming. Some of them are even ripping their shirts in a show of just muscular joy.
Gross.
Meanwhile, you hear a horrific noise coming down the escalators. It's a go-kart and and a toilet traveling at extremely high speeds, swearing madly. Steve Dave into something.
I'm gonna see that my ally is in trouble, and I'm gonna attempt to run alongside and jump on
Yes.
the back of the go-kart and help defend.
You gens, man. He's doing like 25, 30 kilometers an hour. Just, and you just run up behind him and jump on the seat next to him. Not even gonna have to roll for that. Steve just stops running, just tung, tung, tung. I'm pretty sure that's cheating, but nobody listens. They all run past him and ignore him, and they're following you. You are the new hero. You are the one everyone looks at. It's all about you, Chad.
The goblins that are chasing in the go-kart.
Oh, yes.
What does Chad know about goblins?
Very little. This is like 3744 AD. There hasn't been a goblin since D&D.
All right, I'm gonna aim for the tire, the front left tire of the goblin in second place, then,
All right.
as opposed to aiming for his chest.
All right, you aim for the tire, and you're just about to pull the trigger, and you hear a voice, a very familiar voice behind you. Sounds just like Steve Dave. It's his twin brother, Dave Steve. He turns around and says, "This isn't over yet." And completely fresh, he starts running around the track. The audience, fickle as ever, turns around and starts going, "Dave, Steve, Dave, Steve, Dave, Steve." You're losing him.
Stop distracting me, Nova. And he's gonna like throw the javelin down and then take off his like, it's just like a metal piece of armor, but like in Dragon Ball Z, throws off his 50 pounds chest plate and just starts running faster.
Chasing him down. And you start to catch him. Oh, Belladonna. You look out the window and you can see it. They've released the little ones, and the corporate people are fleeing out into the open areas. They don't dare go into the forest for fear of being eaten by the bugs, but they don't know what to do. They're just milling around in the middle of the circled square. On the other side, the people are being led out in an orderly fashion, and with the assistance of all of your local friends, are having their stuff carried across the clearing to the nice places, where they're being given apartments and taken to the offices of power. And the proletariat is absolutely, categorically going to win this one. One final round of what do you want to do? We're going to start with Belladonna. Actually, no, wait a minute. No, I'm going to hold you because I want you to make your victory walk at the end of this. That's how I want to end this scene. So let's quickly cut back to coming down the stairs. You've hit the second floor. You're just stay on the escalators because everything is moving down at this point. And you head down to the main floor. The swimming pool, the screaming dolphins, this Invex assassin bug screaming this yell that just won't stop. The dolphins in perfect tune. It's the equivalent of the from my favorite movie, The Dark Crystal, but like 12 octaves higher and far more annoying. As you crash down onto the floor, the little goblin looks at you and goes, sticks his fingers in his ears, starts driving with his feet.
What's he gonna do?
This is it. This is the big one.
Yeah, I know. How am I gonna do this? So all of like the hoity-toity corpos are kind of like in a circle, right?
Yep. They're all out in the yard, blinking in the sun like it's been a very long time since they've been exposed to outside. You know, they are living in an arcology and all.
Yeah, he's gonna single out the face man.
Yep.
And as he'll circle around him a bunch of times.
Yeah.
In the go-kart, just like
drifting.
Perfect four-wheel drift.
Yeah.
And just as the guy starts to get confused or dizzy, he's gonna grab him by the lapel.
Yeah.
And drag him along, and then dump him in the fountain.
Oh, my suit, my very expensive suit. And I don't need a roll. You just drive by and just do the let go. And he does, without hurting himself at all, he does the whap into the fountain and then peel off and fall back into the water thing. As the music ends, isn't that appropriate?
Nice.
He's out of the game. Chad. You catch him. Shoulder to shoulder. 10 meters to go. Steve, Dave, Steve, it all comes back. The pain, but also the realization you were better. You've always been better. As you pull ahead by a millimeter and then two, the crowd, as fickle as it is, starts to change back to your side. You can see the finish line coming like a beacon. Success, acceptance. Grandma's gonna be so proud of you. What do you do? In fact, she's there on the sideline holding cookies. Go.
Little flags.
Yeah, a little flag and a cookie.
He's gonna keep huffing it. He's gonna extend his legs and just make it across that finish line.
And do a
Looking
complete
straight ahead.
And in your head, because that's the only place we can play it without us getting a copyright strike. Chariots of Fire theme. Dun, 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 dun. You cross that line, the electronic beam breaks. It's like you've won the Olympics. There's a moment of just sheer, unmitigated joy. You look over, and for the first time that you can remember, your grandma's smiling at you. She's proud. She's shrieking, but she's holding herself back so that you can have your moment.
Grabs the mic and looks at the adoring fans and looks at Dave Steve and Steve Dave. He goes, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. This has just made me so confident that every action I have taken up leading up to today was absolutely correct, and I am the Jen I need to be. Thank you. Sorry, what's the name of this planet again? Yes, that. Thank you so much. And he looks and he sees the safe finished and getting cracked, and he grabs his armor.
Yeah.
Now to catch a criminal. Walk towards
And you walk away. As you do, Adam is lowering from the ceiling on the rope. He has a document in his hand. As you reach to arrest him, he hands it to you. It's a file folder. You open it up, and there's just pages and pages of proof. He's absolutely right. This corporation is rotten from the top down.
Well, they even admitted it in direct messages.
In writing. Never write down your crime. It's dumb, but they do it. Corporations, it has to be in writing or it doesn't. It's not real, right?
Yep, in triplicate.
Yes.
Well, gotta say, Adam, I'm surprised. But you're still a murderer, so.
He turns around
Gets
and
him to
holds
turn
out.
around.
He turns around and holds out his wrist behind him. As you reach to put the cuffs on, Pranks Actually, the galaxy's greatest prankster, pies you, and then just walks away into the distance. You blink.
Vanilla. Right. He makes sure the documents don't have cream on them. Goes outside to the person that hired him.
Yeah.
That's in the fountain. He goes, I've arrested the terrorist. But it appears as though your corporation has committed a crime, so I'm gonna have to take you to the local authorities.
And he stands up and kind of turns around and goes to reach his hands behind him because he sees that's what he's supposed to do, and he just falls forward into the pool again. You have to pull him out and arrest him.
All right.
The Invex start to help you. They use vines and bits of things from the forest to tie up these corporate baddies. Belladonna, this is it. You came home. You nationalized the service. You fixed, at least for now, the problem. And you started the plan. You started to take your planet back. Is this, if I may ask, how Belladonna makes up for what they did before?
It's a start.
It's a start. As you start to help these people, go ahead and tell me what happens. Take us out.
There's a plan for elections, and Belladonna herself will not be running because that would be unethical for the person who initiated the plan to run.
It's also pure class. Continue.
And the planet starts to come back. It begins to thrive again, and of course she arrests Chad too, but and extradites him.
Yeah.
And extradites him to his own planet, and
Or he probably pays a fine.
I get a
Yeah.
crisp high five.
Yeah. Completely unrepentant and unlearned of anything.
I look down the kitchen table to see Chad Sr., Chad Sr., Chad Mother, Chad Brother, Chad Cousin, and the whole clan of Chads.
Oh, look
cheering
exactly
me
the
on
same. Yep.
For beating Steve Dave and Dave Steve.
Dave Steve, that's right.
Oh my
You,
goodness.
and in a moment that would make a Jen cry if they could, they go to the hearth of the family home and move great Chad's ashes to one side, to make up for the trophy that you got for beating Dave Steve in the 100-meter sprint while saving the Invex world. But forget about that last part. You won.
Glad that you got that inscription on that little nameplate there. It's great.
And then we cut back one final time to the Invex forest, way, way deep in the forest. A French-Canadian explosives expert sits on a log looking frustrated, messing with a very small tube, little red tube. And he looks across the clearing and he says, "So I'm going to blow some shit up. You want to help, eh?" And the Cross, sitting on a log, a large, nasty-looking hornet, pulls out a rifle. Murder Hornets Incorporated. Let's go. And they turn and head into the trees to cause who knows what kind of trouble. But that is just that's the hook at the end. So if and when we choose to do part 2 of this, we have a reason to come back. I think I got them all in. I think I got everything that I saw in chat in as an NPC. We closed at $270 plus 50, so $320 on our first night of 3. I'm going to leave this music running. It's appropriate now because this is where we talk about the charity again. This is for Equal Justice Initiative. This is the real deal. This is people trying to get people out of jail that shouldn't be there and keep people who shouldn't be going to jail from going. Really about, as I said earlier, making the justice system just. And if we can help do that some more, I mean, man, $320 is a hell of a start. And I wish it would make a difference on the grand scale, but we need more. And there's a lot of people doing this, so we'll see you all tomorrow night before I bring down the fun. We will see you all tomorrow night. We'll do this all again. You saw what I can do. Leather Jacket Bear, bring your friends, bring your enemies, bring everybody, and see if you can wreck my picnic. As of right now, this ended up with, I think, 7 NPCs sitting in a circle upstairs having a lovely picnic. So thank you all of you. Thank you, players. Thank you, everybody. Bison, another new character, short notice. I know, I loved it. I love watching you think as you figure out what your character is going to do, because you forget you're on camera and you just kind of go, and I can watch you scanning options. I love it. Thank you so much for bringing that openness to this game. I appreciate it from more than you can imagine. Thank you.
A lot of fun.
Oh, and Zia, it's been a long time, and I did miss you, and I'm going to miss you even more because I remember now how much fun you are to play with. Thank you for the creativeness that you brought tonight, the screaming, the yell, I'm starting a revolution with my own people, I'm saving my planet. None of that was in the plot, and I love you to pieces for bringing it in. It made that story mean so much more than it could have meant. So thank you. Appreciate that so much.
The assassin bug, who's also the heart and soul of the party.
Absolutely, the assassin bug with a heart of gold, right? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I couldn't hope for more. And yes, I really want to see part 2 of this. We'll have to book that at some point. And yes, Leather Jacket Bear apparently came to us through Zia, so thank you to both of you. I appreciate that a lot. Please stick around. We do this every weekend, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. It's just this weekend it's for a really good cause, so we always have this much fun. And that brings us to Eddie. Oh man, I know you do professional voice work, and the fact that you take time off from doing that, or come to do this with us. And put that skill to the work of just playing games and playing. I love it, because not everybody's willing to play an unlikable character, and I love the fact that you are, and you play them so well that they're unlikable, but it's never personal, right? It's just they're on a mission. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it very much.
Next character will be likable.
Yeah. Well, yes, they are. Because we got more stuff coming ever. Yeah, the bot named Surely I Won't Get Banned. That is ironic. Thank you, Hellhounds, for delivering the bomb on that one. That's beautiful. That's the three of you. I also want to thank chat, all the new folks, all the folks that are still hanging around even at this point. Thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow. Tune in again on Sunday. Let's do it again. There's still a ton of prepaid NPCs. I think we still got over a dozen left that you guys can just make somebody up. They're all paid for, no guilt. Just throw them in there. But that's for tomorrow. Another thank you to the future people on YouTube. Today in the real world was a shitty day. It is June 24th, 2022, and I have a horrible feeling you're not going to have to look that up. So this is what we did to break that circle of negative thoughts, just for 2 hours, not in any way to minimize what's going on, in fact, only to use it as a way to draw attention to the complete and utter lack of justice that surrounds us every day. We're doing something here, we're raising money for a good cause, but you can do more. And it's not complicated. I say it every damn show. And I mean it every damn time. Making the world a better place really is as simple as, please be nice to each other. Good night.